Hey guys, Jill here from Ask a Vet Tech. Today I'm going to talk to you about a product that's been life-changing for Charles and I. Charlie here has a heart condition, and knowing what's going on inside of him has always been a top priority for me. He takes medication, and I want to make sure that everything I'm doing is also helping him and we're not over-medicating. What if your dog's collar could tell you things that you can't see, like how well they're sleeping, how much they're drinking, or whether or not their health has changed? Well, Maven has done that for us. For the last week, Charlie's been wearing this smart health tracker to learn what normal looks like for him. Like most older dogs, Charlie likes to spend his days doing a little bit of everything, mostly sleeping, playing, drinking, and just being himself, and hanging out with his brothers. The interesting part about the Maven isn't that it just tracks activity, it's actually learning Charlie's personality, habits, and health patterns. During the first 7 days, the system learns Charlie's routine. Basically, it tracks things like heart rate, respiratory rate, his activity levels, his drinking habits, and how much this little boy sleeps. It can even track behaviors like head shaking. After the initial 7 days of him wearing it, it knows what his normals are, and it will send a push notification to let me know if he had an event or he didn't sleep well or if he restored it back to his normal pattern. Instead of comparing Charlie to every other dog, it builds a baseline that's unique to him so that when I present Maven's information that it is gathered on Charlie, it is actually helpful to the veterinarian. The tracker monitors Charlie's drinking habits and establishes what's normal for him and his daily water intake. He has been really enjoying the pool because it's been so stinking hot. And don't worry, because the Maven is completely waterproof. The tracker also tracks sleep patterns and respiratory rate. With Charlie's heart condition, we like to keep a close eye on his resting respiratory rate. As a veterinary technician, when we listen to your dog in the exam room, we're listening for the respiratory rate and the heart rate. Now, the respiratory rate isn't accurate when you bring them to the vet because they're not resting, they're active. They're stressed out. Being that we're able to track the resting respiratory rate at home with the Maven Tracker, that is a huge deal. That is game changer. Now, there are reasons why the respiratory rate may be elevated if your dog is panting, if it is really hot out. There are extremes to everything. But Maven has been actively tracking Charles' respiratory rate, and I'm really proud to see that it's under 30. Because Charlie has a heart condition, the cardiologist recommends that we track his counts of breathing while he's in deep, relaxed sleep. You're going to watch the chest rise and fall as they're sleeping, just like this. We're going to count the breaths. 1 inhale, 1 exhale equals 1 breath. This is why counting manually is so stressful and unreliable. That's where Maven comes in. It is able to track our resting respiratory rate in our pets way easier than we can. During playtime, Charlie's also being monitored. Throughout the day, it monitors activity levels, his heart rate. It can even monitor repetitive behaviors such as head shaking, which helps to identify changes that deserve attention from the veterinarian, such as an ear infection. As pet owners, we spend so much time trying to figure out whether or not our dogs are acting normal. Having data about what actually normal is for Charlie gives me another tool to monitor his health. It also keeps track of his sleeping, and I had no idea that Charles' average is like sleeping 16 hours a day. Maven taught me that. Charlie was in a fight with our other dog, Roscoe. Unfortunately, it resulted in Charlie losing 3 teeth, and the doctor had to put him on a course of antibiotics. One of the first things I did when getting home from the vet was open up the Maven app, and I went to the journal. I tapped entry, and I entered my information about Charlie. I logged what happened, including the loss of 3 teeth and him starting clindamycin. I always tell my clients that details matter, and making sure that you document things so that you remember, because we think we'll remember, and in a week or so it becomes kind of fuzzy. I want to show you something really cool that Maven did. Because I had logged Charlie's injury into the journal, Maven was able to connect with that information in the data coming from his collar as well. This here is a health insight, and it talks about how he's resting more than usual, which really makes sense given what he's been through. Now, if we go to July 20th, the next health insight that I seen, a few days later after Charlie had been recovering and finishing his antibiotics, Maven showed this message. Resting well during recovery is a good sign. I love that these health insights aren't just looking at numbers like the heart rate or his activity. They're putting Charlie's health data into context based on what has happened in his life. And that's something I've never experienced in a tracker before. If you've been looking for something that will help monitor your pet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, give Maven a try. Vets around the country are recommending this to help monitor pre-existing conditions and those that haven't creeped up yet. If you're interested in getting your very own Maven, please check the link below. It is your 24-hour pet health assistant. Thank you so much for watching and happy tracking.